Yo, people, what are you saying? New week. Yeah, we weren't here for the international break, nothing really to talk about, but we're back again. You man know the usuals, like, comment, subscribe, and share with your people. Shout out the West Ham Hammers, I forgot his name now, Hammers fans FC. But his link will be in the description below. I don't know why I butchered, but shout out Titch. Real good guy, man. Yeah, you might be seeing collabs with him on here and on his channel, so you might watch out for that. My bad for butchering his name. I'll get it again towards the end. Don't worry about that. But yeah, you man, check the description. His channel will be in the link below. Make sure you share, you comment. But yeah, let's get straight into it. And you know what? We're taking a different route now. We're not going through the A13 now. Going to the M4. Is that Merseyside? No, that's Birmingham. What am I saying? But yeah, we're going to Merseyside because we'll talk about Frank Lampard. Yeah, and he's not very good in it. But can you do better with Everton? We have to be serious now because they're not looking good. Let me start with Dan. What are you saying about Mr. Frank Lampard and his tenure so far at Everton?
I think you know my thoughts on Fat Frank anyway. Like, as a manager, he's a bum, but I don't think he could do much better than he's doing because Everton, their team is not good at all. Like, Pickford is inconsistent at best. At his worst, he's given away goals for free. That whole back line, I don't think any of them are Premier League quality. Coleman is way past his best. Holgate is awful. Michael Keane, awful. Yerry Mina is their best defender and he can't seem to stay fit for like more than a month. And their left back, Mikolenko, I've not really seen enough of him to make a fair enough judgment. So I'll just leave him be. But I really don't think Everton are much better than where they are in the league right now. Whether you can do better or not is...
No, they're better than relegation, let's be honest.
Who are they? Do Everton have a better team than Brentford? No.
Arguably.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
All right, you man, let's pull up this squad.
No, they don't. They don't have a better team than Brentford.
Let's pull up their squad, innit? Let's pull up their squad. All right, so Pickford, yeah, I don't rate him. I don't rate Pickford.
Begovic, another one, whack.
I mean, he's second choice, you know. So, all right, so Carl, what are you saying about their squad? You're saying that it's not as good as Brentford?
You can only make an argument for about 3 of the players being actual decent Premier League standard. If you've actually been honest, if you look at the West Ham lineup, he's not lying. Dan's not lying because Kenny, Keane, Godfrey, and my man on left back. It's not up to scratch. I think Everton, where they should be fighting mid-table. They should be in and around teams like maybe like a Southampton. You never know, them kind of teams. But at the moment, that the team is actually poor, and we'll go into Lampard. But I think with the facilities he has right now, he won't be able to progress much more. But I think if you give him a little bit of time, he's not the best of managers, but he just needs something more because the players he's working with, there's some decent players. Like, remember Tom Davies back a couple of seasons ago when he was building out, but now he just fell off.
Hey, that guy is shit.
That's what I'm saying. He got sussed out. That's what I'm saying. All the youngers, they come through. They got
the worst academy in the league, bro.
They get sussed out quick, very quick. Like Tom Davies, his spell was quick. Yeah, not really saying too much on us.
All right, what are you saying about Everton, man? In my opinion, Lampard is not doing what is required because I feel like their team is good enough to be a mid-table team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think in terms of the players that they do have, they probably definitely should be higher than where they are in the table. Although, coming into a team that's already like fighting relegation and everything like that, you're dealing with a team where like the mentality is already gone, and you know they've literally just been scraping relegation all season, and you're coming in with a task to try and like take them out of that relegation phase, that relegation mentality. And Lampard is someone who's only had 2 jobs.
Derby and Chelsea.
And he's both had very different roles in both the 2 jobs. And the Derby one was to try and get them into the Premier League, and Chelsea was to, I don't know, keep them in the top four and probably progress on to win the league or something like that. So he's, really not had any form of like relegation scrap or, any experience dealing with a team in a league that's not, one of the top teams in the league and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a different scenario for him. And it's a very, very, I don't want to say stupid, but I'll say stupid. It's a very stupid move from the Everton board to hire him. Whatever doubts like people may have about him, like he's not a good manager, I don't think he's a good manager. But even then, even if you saw whatever potential you could see in him potentially, even then, like now is still not the right time to bring in someone like Lampard. Not while you're potentially facing relegation. You don't bring in Frank Lampard. You don't bring in someone with like no form of experience dealing with, because relegation is, something that you can't really like joke about with. It's something that no matter what you need to do, just do it to get over the line, and then you can start afresh from next season, even if you get an interim or someone who notoriously good at helping teams come out from relegation and stuff like that. But yeah, I think Everton might still just be safe. Maybe I don't think they'll get relegated, but still just like starting off a career with the relegation battle and then like having to work out the team and rebuild them to be, Everton used to be in like the top, 6, 7, like just not too long ago. Like there was a point not too long ago that they were even like pushing for fourth, and they've just completely fallen off the rail. So him trying to get them back into there, I don't think he'll be able to. He could prove me wrong, but I highly doubt it. So yeah, I really don't get the appointment. Yeah.
It came back to me. I got some sins that I need to atone for, bruv, because man used to scream Lampard was better than Arteta and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, innit? See, we're all sinful people, man. You get what I'm saying? We all commit sins. You get what I'm saying? So
that's just tribalism, bro. It's just tribalism, man. Them type of debates where it's like it's usually Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United, where they do like a three-way debate, who's better than who. It's just tribalism, man. Everyone's just gonna root for their guy.
But it wasn't even just based on tribalism. It was based on just results. In that Lampard got fourth with a transfer ban. It looked good, innit? It looked good, but like,
Do you think Lampard should get sacked? Do you think Everton should sack Lampard?
No.
Because let's be honest, I think Nuno, who got sacked from Spurs, has a better chance of keeping up Everton than Frank does.
Yeah, Nuno's better than Frank.
Yeah,
Nuno was bad at Spurs, though.
Spurs, but
it was bad as Spurs.
See, but the thing with the Spurs thing, they didn't deal him well though. Like everybody knew the match wasn't there. Like it wasn't making sense.
Nuno could also be one of these managers who has like a very hard time with like, extending himself. So there's some managers that are very comfortable with being in a team that's not good, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Nuno is that type of manager, ready enough. Like he's that like, can keep a team at like 7th, but to manage a team like, Spurs, even though Spurs are trophyless and have like shit expectations, but still to manage a team like Spurs is like, still a job too much, I feel, for some managers. So I think that's kind of the issue with Nuno per se, but Nuno is definitely better than Lampard, to be fair. So he could have definitely been a better appointment. But yeah, I can tell they definitely didn't take their time in the appointment. They just really wanted, I don't even know. I don't know why. I don't get the logic behind getting Lampard. Just doesn't make sense.
The fans were protesting. I think there was a bit of xenophobia because what's it called? There was what's his name? Was it Pereira, some Portuguese don? They were like, no, we're not having that, mate. Give us Lampard. And the fans wanted Lampard, and they got him, innit? But Denzel, I'm gonna pull this up here. Tell me if this team is not good enough to be challenging for at least top 4. Not top 4. Jesus Christ.
Top 4?
Top 10. Top 10.
Bottom 4, you mean?
I know.
Okay, this team, it's good enough to be in at least the top half of the table.
Is it better than Southampton's team?
I don't think so.
Nope, it's not.
Okay, let's look.
Is it better than Newcastle's?
No.
No, it's not.
Chat to Newcastle.
that midfield is.
Hey, that's Holgate in midfield. Nah, that's
Is
nasty.
it better than Palace? Is it better than Palace?
That's nasty, man. That
It's
is
not better than.
nasty.
It's not better than Palace.
Nah, it's
Yeah,
not.
I
Vieira
think
probably- Vieira
It might
probably.
be better than Leeds.
At its best, it can be a top 10 in the top half of the table.
Nah,
At its
nowhere near.
worst-
Nowhere near.
No, at its best, yeah. At its best.
There's teams that are way better than this. There's at least like 13 teams way better than this.
Nah, but that's man said Holgate in midfield.
Aside from the top six, West Ham, Wolves, Leicester, Southampton, Palace, Villa. That's 6 teams better than this.
Okay, first.
Mhm.
Wait. Let me actually look at the table.
They are
Start
pants.
spewing nonsense.
Like 11th or 12th is reasonable. I think that's.
I don't think it is, man. These are so. Look at that defense and midfield.
Bro, they got some good players here, man.
Holgate is starting in midfield.
I can't defend that.
John Joe Kenny.
I think
These
they're
guys
They're
are
not.
Arsenal.
Okay, yeah. Nah, actually,
They're
now that I look at the
bums.
table,
Nah,
they're not a top 10 team.
Get these guys.
That's not a top 10 squad.
Bro, they got Rondon coming off the bench in 2022.
But that's just based on player performance, though. Like, if on paper that team shouldn't be as bad as they are,
Yeah.
because they have a. Nah, I'm looking at it, and yeah, nah.
I don't think that team is relegation worthy. I feel
It's
like
not relegation.
Not
It's not
relegation.
relegation.
Not relegation, but
it's
it's not top
mid-table,
half. Not top half.
potentially pushing top half. Potentially.
I don't know, man.
So,
14th.
Can I talk
15th?
about how Lampard literally had an opportunity to sign players this window, and he got Dele Alli and Van der Beek, 2 players who have similar roles in the midfield, and he got Dele Alli for 40 million. Or was it 40 million or was it undisclosed?
Bro,
Yeah,
it
it
was weird how it works though. It's like he has to play a certain amount of games, I think, before it goes up. I think so.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, just very atrocious in terms of the transfer window that he had, short time as well. I mean, you can always tell a manager you can always judge a manager from their transfer window. Like it says a lot about the type position of players like that you sign, depending on like the positions you need. And if Lampard thought coming into the club, the first thing he needed was 2 attacking or creative outlets in the midfield that have the similar role, and where one has been quite off form and one hasn't been starting for United, to bring both of them into a club that's fighting relegation and needs results immediately, then that's not very smart from him, I have to say. But yeah.
They needed a DM more than they need the opposite.
They need the defender, centre back.
Yeah,
centre back most of all.
Centre back, yeah, they need a centre back.
Their centre back options are championship level.
The partnership doesn't work. If you watch them play, the partnership is not comfortable at all. Like on defense, on a counter attack against them, it's not comfortable at all. West Ham was I thought West Ham was very good that game, to be honest. I thought they got through them way too easily, like multiple times. It's kind of worrying because it means that Lampard, he hasn't improved the defense like in the slightest. Like, there's not even a debate for the team improving.
Yeah, no, it's worrying for Everton and Everton fans, definitely. For a team that's now on the up, Brentford they're doing very well now, and especially now since the signing of Eriksen. Let's pull up the table. Wow, they've really pushed up. Because I had them as one of my favorites to go down, but if you're looking at it now, I think they're safe, really. That's how many points difference? 11 points away from Watford. So what are we saying? We're saying that they're safe now, isn't it? Or
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Why unfortunately?
Bro, after that game that we played against them and the nonsense that the manager was spewing, I will forever have a Brentford agenda, and I can't wait for the day when they get relegated.
Brentford's going to be their rivals next season, bro.
But all right, Tom, what do you think about Thomas Frank and him as a manager?
Yeah, I think he's good enough. Kind of like what he does with Brentford. They actually play good football when you watch some of the games, especially when they go against some top teams as well. I think the game they played against Liverpool, they played really well. Obviously Chelsea over the weekend as well. And also when they come up against teams at the top table, they play really well, and he's very good at like putting phases of play together, constructing like phases of play. And his team is set up like the way I usually like teams to be set up usually. And like, I like how they have Tony up front, and he's a good holder of the ball, and he can like receive the ball and like help his players and like outlets as well. They also have a really good keeper, which has probably gone under the radar this season, but David Raya, I think he's had a very good season. His distribution is so good, and he's also a really good shot stopper. And he's had like a lot of moments where I've really been impressed with him. And yeah, the signing of Eriksen as well too in that January window, that's a really smart signing as well. Because obviously, yeah, Eriksen had the whole issue he had at the Euros, but Eriksen has always still been a quality player. But I know a lot of clubs obviously be doubtful about signing him and stuff like that. So for them to take that risk and bring him on, and obviously they're ripping the fruits of that now. So yeah, good on him. Although I feel like people did like before the season started, and after like Brentford beat us as well, I think a lot of people thought Brentford were really going to overachieve this season. And I think a lot of people got a bit ahead of themselves. I always just knew Brentford would be, I probably thought they'll be around like 12th, 13th, 14th, maybe, around that area, which they are kind of now. So I guess, yeah, it's just more or less about them improving. And Eriksen has made them better. So if they start with him from next season, get one or two players in, they can try and push up and maybe be like a mid-table or even possibly top half, maybe. But yeah.
They got another guy. Is it Mbueno, whatever his name is, French guy?
Yeah, he's also had a really good season as well. Yeah.
He's a little player. I can't lie. He's a decent little player. Dan, you were telling me about N'Golo K. You want to voice it out?
First of all, I want to say that Chelsea played a back four and their defenders didn't look quite as world class as some people maybe made out since they've been playing in that back three. But anyway, moving on to Kante. I think this performance is one that Kante, I think, has, I don't want to say loads, but fairly often during the season where he'll not do much of note during the game. And I think because of the style of player that he is, people usually kind of just ignore it or brush past it. And I think Kante's been doing this for a while now, and I don't think he's quite as consistent as people like to make out. Like last season, before Thomas Tuchel came in, he was having a pretty poor season. And even after Thomas Tuchel came in, I wouldn't say he was having a man of the match game every single game. But because obviously in the two semi-finals and the final of the Champions League, he was by far the best player on the pitch, people gave him his plaudits. But if you look at the season in totality, he wasn't that great. The season before that, under Lampard's first season, he was injured a lot of the time, and his form wasn't at the top for the whole season. So that's another season where I don't think he was truly consistent. And I think that's become a thing in the past 3 seasons anyway with Kante, that he wasn't as consistent as people made out that he was. Like I think maybe his last truly consistent season might be the one under Sarri, where Chelsea weren't as good, but I think Kante was very good that season.
Mm-hmm. Carl, you got any thoughts on that? Or
I'd agree. Like, back when he had the struggling form under Chelsea, like, I was a bit harsh back then, and I did get a bit of slander. But Kante, yeah, is right. He does have quite a few off games, but it's not say he's a bad player or anything. But he's not actually as consistent as you'd think. And as Dan said, it can easily be coated under maybe some wins as well. And sometimes because he does obviously lack some creativity, and he's not the greatest of tackling. Do you know the videos you see of him tackling around, all this kind of stuff? It's not every game. It's not actually every game that he does that kind of stuff. And I guess we saw the midfield was atrocious against Brentford, and he got exposed. Obviously, I'm a fan of Loftus-Cheek as well, but not very impressive, I guess. And it shows that there needs some more balance in the midfield. I don't know whether they have to get whether DM or midfielder just to add some more balance and like composure to the team. But as well, same with Kante, you could say the same for Mount, Kovacic. You can make an argument for as well. Like the midfielders, none of them have been, even Jorginho, none of them have been consistent throughout the whole season. And I think that's been the difference between Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea. I think Chelsea are I would say quite a way below because of the fact that Man City players performing week in, week out, and you know what you're getting. And with the Chelsea players, sometimes very, very suspect, you know. Yeah, but nothing to take away from the players, but I think Chelsea are a long, long way off these teams. And it's worrying because if you see the table now, Tottenham and Arsenal are chasing them. So I don't think we'll bottle. I'm not saying we'll bottle because Chelsea not bottle jobs, but Chelsea have to be careful, you know.
100%, 100%. Talking about the two teams at the top, let's just look at the table right now. These men are clear and far ahead of everybody else. But I wanted to talk about what's it called? Two players from Liverpool. I wanted to talk about Salah and Allison. And I wanted to just bring up the fact that, you know, Salah's been a bit off form since the start of the year. I mean, some people might go to the Christmas photo, and I won't go, but you know, he hasn't been on it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think, is there a conversation to actually be saying Alisson's been Liverpool's most consistent player this season? Because, bro, the amount of times this guy saves them, and obviously maybe because he's a goalkeeper, it doesn't attract.
Maybe Trent as well, to be fair. Maybe Trent. Allison and Trent are the two players I think that have been very, very good.
I feel like Allison saves like.
Allison has been better. Alisson's been better, but Trent is another one who's been very good.
Yeah.
Well, Carl, what would you say about that? Would you say Alisson's been Liverpool's most consistent, or would you still say Salah's been?
I would say it's actually balanced. It's actually more balanced than you think. I know Salah doesn't get the goals, but it's actually balanced. Like Trent, Allison, they do their own contributions in a certain way. Like a lot of those goals, you have to consider a lot of the goals were created from Trent, and obviously Alisson's confirmed. But there's players, I think guys like Fabinho, they might get a bit overlooked, but Fabinho, he puts in a shift of what he needs to do. And certain players like that guaranteed 8 out of 10 every single week is part of the reason why Liverpool, they can afford the risks of, like, you know, when people joke about Trent getting caught like in flying up the field and that, but it's the fact that they have players that can cover. Don't get twisted, Virgil is still the best player in Liverpool by a substantial way, but he hasn't been the same, of course, for some reasons.
That's essentially, man.
But now Salah, see the thing with Salah, is this his best season ever? Do you think?
No, this is his most complete version. Like he's got better in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, what are you saying? Because I know you love your boy Salah, innit?
So this is about who is Liverpool's most consistent player.
Yeah.
I think surely. I think he has to be Salah, but Allison and Trent, probably more Allison actually. Allison actually is just about there, if not the same level as consistency. But my two players from Liverpool who have been very, very consistent in the past 5 years or so, or 4 years, about that, has been Salah and Allison. Trent, as good as he has been, he has had moments where he's been not good, and kind of had a phases of where he's not like played, you know, good for like a period of time. Virgil was injured for a bit, so I don't know if that really kind of makes him, but you know, since he's come back as well, not taking any weak thing from him, he's still a very good centre back, but obviously the level he reached was just kind of very, very high. So he might be like a victim of his own success kind of thing, because he did push himself to a very high level. That's the best like centre-back season I've ever seen. I think was it the 17-18 one of the
18-19.
Yeah. That was just, yeah. But I think Salah is just really consistent for them. Like every season in and out, you know, like you'll guarantee 20 Premier League goals from him. That's just ridiculous, really. 20 Premier League goals in its own is crazy for anyone to reach. For someone to keep on doing that every season without fail is just, you know, unreal. And then he obviously, like you said, he's also like become a bit more, you know, complete and added a lot more to his game as well. And I've been noticing that recently, even before the season, but yeah, he's been becoming a lot more complete. And yeah, it's kind of like Liverpool's main man now. But Allison just a tad bit below in terms of that. But Allison is really good, especially with one-on-ones. He's probably like definitely best in the world for one-on-ones. Maybe
Courtois
Oblak is just.
Courtois is very good 1v1.
Yeah, Courtois is also really good as well. Oblak is also up there as well. But I don't know. Allison is just so good at one-on-ones. Like he trains for that, you can tell. Like he's just so good. Like the amount of open play chances Liverpool concede is a lot. Like a lot of teams, like even the West Ham game, like West Ham had so many chances. Even when we play them, was it not the Odegaard, or was it like I said, one?
Yeah, it was Odegaard,
Yeah. And Allison stopped that. I was like, yeah. So he's just so Liverpool always have that one chance in a, that they always concede in a game where like, and no one always takes the opportunity, mainly because of Allison in the post. And like, it always just makes his presence so big. And yeah, I would be terrified if I was a striker. I was like going one-on-one against Allison. But I think Salah, Allison, and then the rest just follow seats after that. But they're all really a good team. Like all of the players are balanced. They all fit their own areas. Like Carl was talking about Trent, how people always say like, yeah, he's not good at defending, but like Klopp is happy to take that risk. Like for the amount of output you can give on one side, like it's just ridiculous. It's a right back, pushing 15, closing in on 15 assists in a season is just, it's ridiculous. Like even if you were to, concede one goal, like from your own personal error every game, which he doesn't, the amount that what you're giving to the team on the other end is just so much that you're able to sacrifice, whatever flaws or whatever, areas of weaknesses he can have. And Trent is still young, people forget, and he's still like learning and improving. So yeah.
So with let's just look at this now. PFA Player of the Year. In my opinion, Salah's the favorite anyway, but is there any other like players that are in with a shout?
What, from Liverpool or just in general?
In the league in general.
I think one that like people aren't really looking at, I feel like because of the way it's been integrated into the side, is Jota. Like Jota's had a very good season, but hasn't been respected that much. I don't think. No, I'm not saying he's a PFL Player of the Year, but I'm saying like people need to start putting some respect on his name because of
100%.
silently he's been doing his thing. Like I'm pretty sure he's second in the scoring.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, a lot of people disrespect Jota for some reason. But he's done a fantastic job at Liverpool, really. He's kind of what Werner was meant to be for Chelsea. Kind of that like player who can poach, who can get in behind, who can score headers, who can
it's good in the air and it's only
very good in the air, and who can also, on his day, like, help the team, like link up play and stuff like that. But yeah, and he's also really fast as well. Yeah, he's kind of what Werner was meant to be as a signing. But yeah, definitely, I feel like people disrespect him a lot. He's actually had a really good season but for the PFA, yeah, I think Salah is kind of in the clear. That being said, though, knowing how the PFA are, De Bruyne probably.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I say in the league they'll give it to KD.
I don't think he deserves it. I don't know.
He doesn't deserve it. But if he won it last season, then I think this season he's even been better. He's had a better season this season than last season, in my opinion. So the fact that he could still win it last season just means that he definitely is in the race this year. He always just is. They're just, I don't know, just embarrassed about KDB sometimes, but it should be Salah's easily, I feel. Yeah.
No, because I'm actually because I'm just trying to move away from Salah, innit? Salah is obviously going to win it. But I'm just looking like players capable of
It's not obvious because remember, Harry Kane led in goals and assists last season and he didn't even get it. So with this dumb KDB PR nonsense, you never know what's going to happen, man. It's just...
Yeah, but I think now just because Liverpool are really close to the title, so you more or less might just swing whoever wins it. But even if Liverpool like miss off the title by like 1 point or 2, then it should be Salah's because like they were so close. But yeah, I can't think of anyone. I think everyone else has just been a level below Salah, and I think Salah has even like weirdly enough declined this season, which probably sounds weird to say, but yeah, like
I got one. I know this. He might not be a popular shout, but Sterling's been good this season, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he has. Yeah, but has he been like better than Salah?
Yeah, just
not better than Salah. I'm not saying. I'm just putting names
Yeah, just a level below. I think it's still just Salah is up there, and I think Salah is leading. He's leading both the scoring, and I think he's either first or second.
Assists, yeah. No, I think Trent is leading
I think
assists
Trent
now.
is leading it. I think Salah is just
Yeah.
Oh, Trent's another one then. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Trent will win.
Yeah.
Wait, how old is Trent?
No, they've changed it now. It's only you have to go up to 21.
Salah's got one
Oh,
less assist
good,
than Trent.
good.
One less.
But Trent would be nominated though. I feel for the
Yeah.
Player of the year.
for the
And there's a few people from lower clubs as well that should be nominated.
Declan Rice.
Nope. I think Declan Rice and Bowen will probably both get nominated because Bowen's top 5 assists as well. I think they'll probably not. They wouldn't win it. They'll not win it definitely. But there'll be a few players down below from clubs like West Ham. I can reckon one of the Brentford guys will probably get nominated as well. One of these they always do it just to throw one in.
Do Ericsson, bro.
Nah, that's force, man. Sympathy.
Yeah.
I hate it in football.
This is what
It
they
needs
do.
to stop.
Disney Plus, bro. Disney Plus. Who else is there?
Ooh, I would have said Bernardo Silva because he had a really good
Yeah.
start to the season, but it kind of fell off as well.
Slow down a bit.
Same with Cancelo.
Kane can have a late spur, you know. No pun intended.
He
But
just
he
had
can't-
such a really bad start to the season.
Yeah,
But
he
he's
was so
coming
shit.
back up. He's on 12 goals right now.
Yeah, and that's incredible. Kane is so funny. Like he could literally be on 2 goals the game before the last day of the season, and he could just go into double digits the next game. He's just quite crazy. But yeah, I think should be Salah's. I think it's kind of very obvious for most people, and I would say that Salah would be.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you, innit? I think Liverpool will dominate the list for.
What about young
Might
player of
also,
the year?
they might also like look at like Rodri is also like a potential.
Rodri.
Yeah,
Young player of the year, you know.
I think for young player of the year, it'll probably go to an Arsenal player.
Young player of the year.
I
I
say
think we'll
that.
go to Arsenal player. We'll go to
He's
Arsenal
second,
player.
man.
Young
If you
player
get top 4, you'll go to Arsenal player.
of the year
They'll give
should-
it to Phil Foden again. Bro.
Nah, you can't.
They love doing
no.
They love doing it.
Let's be honest. I don't like Arsenal.
Nah, this
Let's
year,
be
this
real.
year, this year would be Saka. It would definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, for
Yeah.
sure.
Gallagher
If you
should
get
be
top 4
nominated.
though, if you don't get top 4, then
Gallagher is
nah.
also a shout. That's true. Gallagher is also a shout. Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
like Gallagher.
I feel like it will only be an Arsenal player if you get top 4. If you don't, well, you probably will, but if you don't, then they'll give it to
Even-
Foden or.
Even if we
Bamford.
don't get top 4, I still think it should be Saka who wins it. To be honest.
There'll be a nomination from Smith Rowe and Saka definitely.
Yeah.
Gurley's done well. Gurley from Crystal Palace has done well.
Yeah, Crystal Palace have good youngsters.
Mm.
Yeah.
Broya's done well for Southampton.
Yeah, he's good as well.
I don't know. I think he's
Nah,
done
he's
well.
good.
He's not been.
Yeah, sometimes I get
He's
you.
still overachieving.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, away from what was expected. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, that's it. I think that's it really. I was
For
just thinking,
what?
huh?
Oh, for the players.
Yeah, that was it. Because I'm just thinking the 2 teams that just came to mind. I don't think there's anybody from Newcastle or Brentford that would come to mind. No, there's not. No one from those 2. I don't know why I thought about those 2 clubs, but yeah, let's move away from club football. Let's go to the international scene. Let me get up the World Cup draw. I want to see our reactions to it.
Denzel.
I can't see what he's saying in it, so. But I know he's talking about his pigeons, innit? Now, big up you guys, man. You know them ones. Big up you, man. 1 second. All right. Yeah. All the time, all these guys know what to do. Always asking for cookies, bruv. Like, come on, man, big man. I don't want cookies, bruv. But yeah, is this the right group? Yeah. These are the right ones. Yeah.
I'm looking at. I can't seem to find a certain country. Where are they? Where are they? I can't see them.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah, well done, man. Well done.
Just to quickly add, roles reversed, and if it was Nigeria that went through, I would just be acting very normal because it's very.
No, you wouldn't. Don't lie.
we're used to making the World Cup, but I get
Now we're used to making the World Cup. We even have more when it comes to trophies. We can't even do that chat because of when it comes to AFCONs, we've got more than you. But
many
yeah,
AFCONs?
we're back where we belong.
How many AFCONs do you have?
We have more than you. I think we have how many? I need to double check. It's either 4 or 5, but we have more than you.
I think we only got 3 in it.
We have 3. Yeah.
Now Egypt have the most, and then we
Egypt to the Mazza in the 2010s, and then late 90s.
Yeah, I think but we have more than you guys.
Yeah,
Egypt have 7.
Ghana has 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, but I've said now, I just support Africa in it because
When it comes to but it was a spectacle. I can't lie. I enjoyed it. It was stressful towards the end, but like putting Ghana and Nigeria against each other in the qualifiers, I don't know. Maybe they did it for ratings and views, but yeah, I'm just glad we didn't lose because that would have been painful.
You know what?
Especially you Nigerians love to chat. So not you guys specifically, but you guys know what your country's like.
Yeah.
So if we would have lost, it would have been severe pain for us. I'm just glad we got the job done.
No, but you know what you're saying, yeah. One thing you realize about Nigerian fans, yeah, they don't actually have a clue what they're talking about. They chat so much shit, bro. They don't know nothing about their team, bro. Like they actually think Nigeria is good. Nigeria is not good. Like they all right. They got some good players.
Yeah, at least you got music.
Oh,
but football, leave it to us because whenever we come together, we always beat you guys. But yeah, you can't have everything, can you? You know.
Hey, bro, you make sure you don't finish bottom of this group.
Yeah, you can't be talking coming with the smoky talk to finish.
You know what's the funniest part?
We have to. Okay, Denzel, Karen.
You know what's the funniest part? This is probably our worst squad that we've had in I don't know how many years. So if we manage to get out of that group, I'll be very surprised. I feel like we might do something. If we manage to get a couple of the English guys to switch nationalities, I feel like we could do some damage. That Uruguay game is a revenge match. I haven't forgotten, and I'll never forget what happened in 2010. And yeah, we need to get revenge on Uruguay. South Korea saw another good side. Some Heung-min Son magic might be tricky for us. But in fact, we never know. We can make it out of that group. I feel like it's a favorable group for us.
Yeah. I think like last couple of months I've just kind of shown like how important a keeper is to any side. We have 2 prostitutes as our goalkeeper.
Oh, cheers.
And one of them cost us for AFCON, and the second one cost us for our World Cup qualifiers. So no AFCON, no World Cup in a year. That's all I have to say. Our coach, so the one we got as an interim, was also pretty average. And our keepers were just, oh my word.
Did you see what Eguavon was saying? He was like, Guardiola. I saw. I was like, uncle, what's going on?
He's not that guy.
He really thought that, he could, the midfield as well he was putting out, like, oh my goodness. I'm like, well, you like Guardiola and this is the type of midfield you're working with. I'm just so upset. I'm so upset with them, man. They just like they had that one chance to just beat Ghana, and like also like I wasn't even aware of the away goal until like halftime, and that's when
Neither was I.
That's when I was just shitting myself completely because I thought like it would go to extra time and all of that, but yeah, it's really weird. Like all my life, I haven't I have no memory of Nigeria not being in the World Cup, so this is just very it's a tough one to take, but yeah, at least I can enjoy the World Cup now without like having any pain like I do every single World Cup. I will be rooting for Brazil and Spain.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, don't worry, you get back to Spain.
Wait, who in Spain?
Brazil mainly just because of
Spain.
Brazil mainly just because of Neymar, but Spain because I like Spain in general. And I like Enrique.
Washed guy.
Let's go through it group by group instead of running about Nigeria because
you might out here. You might not even.
What's the old Nigerian keeper? The one where he had the Enyema. He had the mud all over. Man, he was for business.
Like best keeper in like kind of like
he was cold.
We had Enyema here right now. Like my goodness. Yeah, bro.
He didn't have any highlights in his hair. He went biting his lips.
Yeah, he went any of this nonsense. I was coming for business.
But let's start with Group A. Bro, I'm sorry, Qatar. I don't know what you're doing here, but
No, they're
They're
not that
the
shit. You
hosts.
know?
They're
They're
the
not
hosts.
that shit. They're not that shit. They beat America in a friendly.
Yeah, but
not too
America
long ago.
whack too. America trash.
Nah, Qatar, they're not too shit. They're not that shit.
Realistically, the bottom two are going through Senegal and Netherlands.
I
We
Yeah.
don't have to talk too much with this group.
think Senegal are topping that group, weirdly enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
do
agree.
as well.
I agree.
I feel like with Africa, yeah, I feel like Senegal and Morocco probably do have the best chances for Africa. We'll get onto them later on. But Ecuador, I think
We
they're
need
young.
to talk about that man.
No, I think they're a young generation. I think, but I don't know what they're capable of. So yeah, we'll say Senegal and Netherlands for now. Group B, this is like the political group, bruv. Like,
Yeah, for real. This is a World War III, bro.
Bam.
Yeah, moving crazy.
That should be England and US.
Nah,
Hey, you never know, man. Some
actually-
Gareth
actually,
Bale.
that's going to be
Bro,
England and
That should
the
be England and
last team to qualify.
No.
The last team to qualify and England will go through.
Who's
Iran
going
and
to
USA
qualify?
aren't on piss. They're both whack.
Who's going to qualify?
Bro, don't be talking this because if USA smoke us, it's gonna be long days. for us
USA
on
are
field.
not doing
It's
nothing.
gonna be.
Yeah,
It's gonna be long
We're
days.
putting at least 4 past.
Nah, I already
USA.
see these Americans talking was
4 past the
about
USA.
Pulisic and this and that. If they beat
We're
us,
cooking America. It's going to be an easy win.
Wait. Shout out Adaj. He comments. I think he's from America as well. Obviously, I think they've got a good generation coming through.
Nah, it's overhyped.
they're not bad. They have like 5 players that are playing
average.
at like the high, good European teams. They're not shit, man. They're good.
All I think is
Play our second team and beat America.
I think they'll go through the next round. That's all I think.
Nah.
I think
I'm telling you, I'll be on. I'm gonna say this here now, yeah. If either Scotland or Wales go through, when Scotland and Wales play each other, or Scotland and USA or even Ukraine or that 4th spot, they're gonna beat the USA. I'm telling you that now. When those 2 teams play, they're going to beat the USA. Even if England draw, or I don't think we'll lose to the USA, but even if we draw or lose to the USA, we'll probably beat the other 2 teams and go through. I don't think USA are beating Ukraine, Scotland, or Wales. I think the only win they get realistically is Iran. So I think it's going to be England, and whoever gets that last spot will go through. I just don't rate the USA at all. I think
this is that their prime generation. You know, for you, even though we don't see it, this is USA.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's their prime.
But they're young.
It's not a very good prime.
Yeah, like
they're young though. They're not even like in their like prime anyway. They're like young.
I think their prime is the next World Cup, their home World Cup.
There's no like heavy expectations on them as well, and like they just have and they're just like having fun. There is a lot of pressure on England on the other hand, so that's something you could really play in the balance.
Big pressure.
Big pressure, man.
Because we're expected to do big things. It's not even. It's not. Yeah, I was about to say we're expected to win.
England expected to win.
We're the favorites, along with France and
Brazil.
All the heavy.
Yeah, Brazil probably.
For me personally, I think England need to normalize either winning it or it's a failure. From now, it's a win or it's a failure.
Yeah,
personally, because we shouldn't sugarcoat it. Because everyone's been like, "Oh, we're getting closer," but now is the final time. Like we either win it or it's just a failure. I know semi-final celebrations only celebrate the final. If you lose the final, shouldn't be celebrated at all. It's a complete failure for me personally. Like it's getting sugarcoated too much. England should win the World Cup. Like that's that, and like they should.
Yeah,
everything lined up perfectly. Everything's like we were talking about Trent, all these people. Everything lined up for us like perfectly. No, I don't think they could win personally, but that's the expectations. They should.
And they can't even talk about fatigue or anything like that because it's going to be in December. They should be in the physical.
Exactly.
So,
everything they've always been saying for years is finally on the table. So
and a lot of the other big teams aren't the strongest either. Like Spain's not their strongest. I think Germany, they've not been great in the last 2 tournaments. Belgium aren't the strongest. England got to do it, man.
Yeah, I think this should be.
I actually kind of disagree though. Apart from Belgium, I think everybody else is getting stronger.
Everyone else is what?
Everybody else is getting stronger. I think Spain are going to be stronger. I think Germany will be stronger as well.
Germany will be good. I think Germany will probably make the semi-finals, if not further. But I don't think Spain are as strong as they were previously. I think Belgium are a lot weaker than they were previously.
France, you could argue, are stronger.
I think
they just have crazy depth.
I think this might be Brazil. Yeah, just have a very weird feeling.
Hopefully,
what about Brazil?
I want to see Neymar do well, man.
Yeah.
We'll talk about them.
If I see Neymar win the World Cup, that's just like childhood complete, man.
Group C. Hey, shout out Saudi Arabia, you know. They're trying, you know. They made the last one as well. Big up them, man. Big up them. Argentina should make.
That should be Argentina and Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lewandowski don't score in World Cups, man. So
There were Disney 0 goals in 6
yep.
months. Maybe you
Lower
think
Disney.
one against
Saudi Arabia.
It's that bad, yeah. It was score 5, innit?
Tapping or penalty.
Tournament top goal scorer.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he scored a hat trick against Saudi Arabia.
Saudi
And
Arabia.
people say he got 3 goals in 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games, yeah.
Yeah, let's see what the World Cup flop can do in it for Argentina as well. So that's
So
gonna be
go.
not my goal.
Messi, I feel Messi is just like, we'll see how he does, but yeah.
Yeah.
Group D,
That group should be France and
Denmark.
Denmark.
I feel like Tunisia might shock people, you know.
Nah.
They're meaty. They're meaty.
They could shock people.
Nigeria because
Denmark are good, man.
goalkeeper.
no, that's France and Denmark. And I actually feel Denmark might even have a push for top. That'll be close. I don't see France.
Over France.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe like there might be. I think France would drop points against one of them. I don't think France would do 9 points. I think France might end up with like 7, maybe Denmark 6, something like that. If that's possible mathematically, I don't know. But yeah, I think Denmark would be quite close to France. But I still think France would top the group. That should be Spain
And Germany.
and Germany. On paper, though.
Yeah, pretty
But
easily, yeah.
these things you can never really
It could
tell.
be a shock, yeah. There's always a
I don't know
shock.
about
in the
Japan.
World Cup.
Japan are always like a strong technical team.
They're always techie.
Yeah.
Always-
Mad techie.
But they always still lose in the end, unfortunately. They are. Yeah, I do agree that they are. But yeah, that should be Spain and Germany. On paper and most definitely in real life too.
Hey, you know what? I'm saying this now, yeah. If Hazard comes back for Belgium and does something,
This stinky bum
We're
out of
talking
here.
about-
Get a grip,
Redemptions.
man.
Dan, could
Josh.
you quickly tell me what date it is, please?
The date.
Yeah,
Today is the 4th of April, 2022. And we're still mentioning Eden Hazard.
I think it was 2017 the way Josh is talking.
My goodness.
Don't worry. A bad man moves inside.
Get with the times, bro.
Done. It's over. Like just let it go. You know, he
Wait,
had.
are there any
He's
Are
a
there any
street
McDonald's in Qatar?
yeah, he's a street football player.
Are there any McDonald's in Qatar? Just I just need verification. Never know. We might
That's
get with
the Burger
17 has a
King,
back,
you
you know. Yeah, any KFCs?
Fair enough, man. A bad man moves in silence, isn't it?
Yeah,
Man,
Hazard.
he just-
though.
he's just-
Hazard doesn't move at all. So
Right, Hazard.
Hey, Josh, disrespect my goal.
Belgium are
Yeah.
so
Oh,
annoying.
man.
The golden generation isn't even golden. It's just there. It's like a very, very weird golden.
It's the bronze generation, man. That's what it is.
The rusty
One
generation.
line.
Back
Yeah.
it's been since like 2014. Like the Belgium hype has been, and now we're about to go like almost 10 years and nothing to show for it.
It's true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Canada as well. Uncles, my
Ooh.
cousins lives there. So shout out.
Golden generation as well, Canada.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or like the kind of they start with their golden gen.
Yeah.
Croatia, I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up, but that's what I'm saying. Morocco could do
I
something.
think
Yeah.
this might be the like toughest.
Yeah, I think so. That's the damn.
I
Yeah.
think so. It might be the toughest group, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
If Morocco
Why
and
not?
Canada went through, oh my days, that would be
Craziness.
I think it's realistic to think that, you know.
It's actually really realistic because Belgium aren't like
Yeah.
They're nowhere near as good as they were.
Yeah, like Packer isn't playing that well, but maybe we'll get it together by December.
KDB's not all that for Belgium. Believe me, he's not all that for
yeah,
Belgium.
no, that
And the defense is about 97.
Yeah, they're not all that anymore.
Who's? Well, are they still
They
going to be
still got
around
Vermaelen
Vertonghen?
playing for them, you know.
Yeah.
Vermaelen,
Gosh,
you know.
that's meaty. Vertonghen, yeah, pensioners. But you never know. Italy one of the pensioners, so. But them man on here, innit?
They're very
So,
bad.
Doku is someone to look out for again. I mean,
Yeah, he's cold.
yeah, Doku. He should have switched allegiances, isn't it? Can't play for Ghana, man.
He's all right. Brazil
should top that group, and then
Cameroon.
No, Switzerland.
Switzerland are
Cameroon,
consistent.
bro.
I think Switzerland.
Cameroon, I'm telling you.
Switzerland, a decent team.
They'll play some terrible football, but AFCON balls to the death.
Switzerland,
They'll
Serbia.
somehow make it there.
Switzerland, Serbia game is another political
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's true, man. It's true. I don't know, man.
Brazil should definitely top that group.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they will. I think for second, I think it's quite even.
I think
Man,
it's Switzerland for me. I think it's Switzerland for me.
yeah. I think you say Switzerland because they're like consistent, but
Yeah.
I think they all got a chance to qualify. Group H is similar as well. I'll say you guys will have a chance.
Portugal will win, and then it's down to anybody to come second. Yeah.
I think Portugal finished last in the group.
If
Oh,
that's
a
not-
big shout.
Do you know?
It's a
I
good
don't think
shout.
they. I think there's a chance they might not make it out of the group.
Hey, my friend, speak into existence. Speak it into existence.
I don't like Portugal at all.
Same.
Players that I
Same.
don't-
Speak it into existence, man. Hey, Denzel, if your goal comes out in the group stages, hey,
It's not going to happen. If it does
A lot,
happen,
but-
that means probably it'll be to my advantage because that means Ghana might go through. But I don't think it will happen.
Hey, if it's Uruguay and South Korea, it's long days for you.
Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. That would be
That's so
awful. That would be my worst nightmare. Ideally, I would want it to be Portugal and Ghana that go through. Uruguay, the evil we've done is enough. If we beat Uruguay and that's the game that causes them to not go through, that poetic justice. Chef's kiss. Right in the storybooks. Oh,
But
I
Denzel,
mean,
would the convict be playing?
pardon?
Convict be playing? Suarez.
Yeah, that criminal. Oh yeah, he'll still be playing. Yeah,
Yeah, in and out.
Look. As much as
the
you
two-legged tackles with him, innit?
as much as you guys like to play blame Suarez, Asamoah Gyan.
Oh yeah, no, it was our own downfall. But if he didn't do that stupidness, but he did what was right for his country. But
Well, I would have done what he did 100.
yeah, I would have done it too. But he's a bastard for it. He's a bastard.
Still very painful to see. I get that.
No, I was sad when you man went out because I actually wanted you man to do well.
Yeah, because if we would have gone through, it would have been the furthest African team got in the tournament. But we were level with Cameroon.
I wasn't sad. I was quite pleased that Ghana got up.
Yeah, that's why you're sitting at home and not watching this. Hey.
Fair play.
You man aren't even that good as well, so there's no.
Yeah, you can say that, but you're sitting
That
at
makes it
home
worse for
listening to
Nigeria.
Made in Lagos while we're on the plane.
Well,
So yeah, hold
We'll
that.
be back in
Hold that.
2026. We're coming for the World Cup title.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, I
Probably
can't
have
even.
children by then.
I can't even because Nigeria is not a serious institution, man.
All we need is just to get some prostitutes out, really, and then we can start talking real football.
Oh shit, man.
I just feel bad for like a lot of players, like especially Osimhen was really good in that game. And
Yeah, he played well. He was scaring me. I can't lie. That one, there was one where it was a volley or overhead kick. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I thought it was going in. I can't lie. He's a scary set. But
now he's going to have to go wait another, like, oh my god. When you actually think about the gap between World Cups, it's actually a lot. Like,
exactly.
That's what makes it so good.
Yeah, you play 2 World Cups and you're already like you can go from being like 20 to 28. That's incredible. You know, it's yeah.
Well, obviously, next one is going to be bigger, so Nigeria will definitely qualify. I think it's 36 teams or something.
Yeah, they're increasing.
Yeah. That's the good thing. There'll be more African teams than the next one.
Yeah, what's the qualifying for AFCON? Because I swear there's only like 4 African teams.
Yeah, there's not that many slots for us.
Yeah, so like they put everyone into groups, and then the top of the group, they now pick from there, and you still have to do a playoff even after you top your group. It's just really unfair, but yeah,
it's ridiculous, man. And there was an interesting thing that someone mentioned. I put in the GC. I don't know how Senegal are pot 3 when they won AFCON. That's stupid, bro. They should be at least minimum pot 2, even pot 1.
No, they should be pot 1. They won AFCON.
That's just ridiculous, man. If you win your continent's like Asian Cup, it doesn't matter.
If America are in a higher pot than them, and Senegal are definitely better than America. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So it's just a bit of bias, but
do so badly. They get put in such difficult groups, isn't it? But it is what it is, man. Yeah, we're rounding off now. You might know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share with your people. What's it called? Links in the description below. So give any channels that we put in the description a follow. But yeah, you guys know what to do. Share with your people there. We out. Peace.